Hey, good morning, everybody. What a difference a day makes. Wide open Dorado and bluefin up in the Channel Islands, and it is getting good. Crazy. The Dorado returned to the LA Orange County area. We have yellowfin tuna down at 80 miles below San Diego, 40 miles, and still all kinds of Dorado. A great night bite last night on board the Thunderbird, and so much more. You know what time it is. It's time for... I just had to do that. The morning briefing. Wow, what a morning it is down here. It's absolutely gorgeous. There is no wind. It's right before sunrise, so I'm able to stand down here on this beautiful beach in Southern California, Surfside, California, and take it all in. It is absolutely gorgeous. Good to be back with you. Welcome to the morning briefing. Thousands of you joining us. We just eclipsed 900,000 views, headed toward that magical million mark, and then many more millions after that. At least that's the hope. And that's a good time for me to be grateful to each and every one of you who are smashing those like buttons, sharing these videos, subscribing, and hitting the bell so that you're notified when we come on with another episode. Please share this if you like it, and it means so much. I see so many more of you hitting the like button. That helps us so much, and I can't thank you enough. A reminder to you that we are on the Relentless out of San Diego Sunday with a couple of spots open. And that's going to be a great one. That's a day-and-a-half trip. It's looking fantastic. If you'd like to join Friedman Adventures on the Relentless, please send me a text ASAP. Only 2 spots left for Sunday night. We fish until the sun goes down on Monday. That's going to be fun. 657-227-6459. If you are on the Pride leaving this Wednesday night, please pay attention to today's report. It's very, very important because I'll be talking about what kind of tackle you need and what it's looking like for you on that trip. It's looking really good. I'm hoping that it just stays the way it is. The weather's going to be great. Everything's going to be good, and it should be a magnificent trip. Don't miss our live show tonight from 22nd Street Landing in beautiful San Pedro, California. James Moser will be joining us from Newport Landing. He'll be talking about what's going on out of Newport, and the guy is so knowledgeable. Not only works the office, works the boats, been in sport fishing for a long, long time. It's going to be a thrill to have James on board with us this evening. Of course, Chef Jason will be there, and Anthony Amalfitano. They'll be jumping on the show also to provide, some comic relief. Well, actually, they provide a lot of expertise also. It'll be great to have everybody on the show tonight. And James, once again, thanks for playing the morning briefing for all the guys that are there at Newport Landing in the morning. We deeply appreciate it. All right, let's get into it. We got so much to cover. Normally, I start on the other side of the border, but I got to tell you, Markland, Jeff Markland, you know how much respect I have for him. He's a great captain, really does a great job, provides such a great operation on board the Thunderbird out of Davies Locker at Newport Beach, just getting out of a night bite. Yellowfin and bluefin, there you can see some of the fish right there. That night bite is real. It's still going on. The long range boys have been all over it, and it is biting good. Knife jigs, those torpedo sinker rigs. If you don't know what that is, watch the video I did with Sam De La Torre just the other day. You're definitely going to want to have that if you are on board our Pride trip. We will be fishing that nighttime tuna. At least that's the way it's looking right now. And you want to have some 50, 60 pound, even 100 pound, because there's been some 200 pound fish mixed in with those 50, 60 pounders. You can see the greater fish from the Thunderbird look like 50, 60s, but they also had some big fish. So be prepared at night. If you're going on anything like a day-and-a-half trip out of any LA Orange County based landing, you're going to get a shot at that fish more than likely. There's going to be some weather. It's going to get windy, especially Wednesday night. So we're going to have to watch that very, very closely. Thursday and Friday are going to be beautiful days. We're rolling you into another gorgeous weekend. I'm really excited about that. let's jump across the border and talk Ensenada. Right in front of Ensenada, they're still finding kelps with Dorado, catching some yellowfin tuna around that neck of the woods also, that 20 to 40 pound stuff. Got to go a little bit further south for the most part to get in on the really good yellowfin tuna fishing, smaller grade fish, but it's still going well down there for the Pongueros, and I love seeing the locals down there doing so well. They are such hard workers, such good people. I love crossing the border, eating fish tacos on the way down, and spending time with our brothers and sisters in Mexico. That's always a lot of fun. All right, let's get you to San Diego. Day-and-a-half type trips. I'm talking about that because we're going to be on board the Relentless. It's wide open yellowfin tuna down there at about 80 miles. Sonar marks, fish also on the Dolphin. You'll see fish up on the surface, triple jig strikes on these fish. Not very big for the most part. There's mixed fish, but there's a lot of that 5 to 10 pound yellowfin tuna, but it is crazy down there. Really great fishing when we surge over a couple of thousand, as we did just the other day in the dock total on yellowfin tuna. That's pretty amazing stuff. They are biting 25 pound Opsin fluorocarbon, www.opsinusa.com. Put in FA at checkout and you'll get a note from Greg and a free gift. Make sure you do that. But they're biting that 25 pound with a 2-0 hook and a good hot sardine. They also love to bite the iron. Anything with chrome in it works good. Daiwa Sakana lures have been killing the yellowfin tuna down there. And they also are finding some really good kelp patties holding good amounts of Dorado. So you've got this mix, you've got nice weather, you've got warm water, and it is good. Down there, as I say, about 80 miles is where it is. That's still one-day range. You can fish that on a one-day trip, but you're heading home at about, I want to say 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Day-and-a-half trip, you fish till dark, so you got all day down in that zone. You are going to get out of there with a good score for the most part. Remember, this is fishing, so sometimes you miss. Sometimes they don't bite. Same thing up here, where we had outstanding fishing. Wait till you hear what went on in the Channel Islands. It's mind-boggling. I might even jump up there because it was so darn good. But really good fishing, and you definitely want to have something with 40 and 50 pound also, because there's still some of that big bluefin running around, and every once in a while you'll get into the bigger yellowfin. In fact, I talked to Sean Hardigan last night. He runs the Mission Bell, and Sean's fishing about 40 miles. He's on that kind of a trip that leaves in the morning, returns in the evening, like the San Diego, like the Grande, like the Mahi-mahi. All those guys are doing that. Sean said his grade of yellowfin tuna was like 25 pounds, and he had, I think, 20 fish for 9 guys. Really good fishing and nice grade. So there's that mix, and that means you need to mix your tackle to be prepared. That is really important. Have the light stuff, have the heavy stuff. And you can even bring a rod with 15 pound in case you hit a kelp and the Dorado are really finicky. But for the most part, 20 is about as light as you'll ever want to go. 25 when you're catching that smaller grade yellowfin down there at 80 miles. And then something that's beefier, whenever you throw in the iron, nothing less than 40 pound. Man, what a bite we've got going down there. It is outstanding. I'd love to see you on the Relentless. 2 spots left. Just send me a text or look in the show description and you'll see it there. Today's show description. Really appreciate that. All right. Also, got to tell you, we're on the subject. We were talking about Jeff Markland and those big bluefin. Man, the Condor. They had a recent trip on the big bluefin where they're focusing on that. Look at these fish. God almighty, that's beautiful stuff. 20 fish in the 100 to 180 pound class, 5 over 200. You will be fishing that on our Pride trip at night, folks. Bring the heavy tackle. Look how good that looks. Old Glory, limits of Dorado. Wonderful fishing on the Ocean Odyssey. Limits of yellowfin tuna. Daiwa Pacific, limits of yellowfin, limits of Dorado. Tremendous fishing. And boy, I got to tell you, it's just not slowing down one bit. Now, day trips yesterday, morning trip, come back in the evening. Both the Grande and the San Diego really had tough days. Just didn't find the right kelp, the right sonar mark, the right bunch of fish. It happens. So that'll rebound, and that fish at 80 miles we're hoping is going to continue to move up the Baja Peninsula. And ultimately, of course, we'd love to see it cross the border into Los Estados Unidos and provide, man, wouldn't it be great to see half-day boats catching it here if we can get it up in this neck of the woods? Who knows? It's still a crazy season, and it is about to get crazier. I really do believe that, because in the Channel Islands yesterday, the Aloha Spirit Sean Stewart owns that boat. He's a good friend of mine for many, many years. I love Sean and his family. They do such a great job. Talk about a top-notch organization, operation, but a really nice Irish lad. Pat O'Brien, he's running the boat yesterday, and Pat says, I'm going offshore, and we are going to make this happen. And man, oh man, this is up in the Channel Islands, where a lot of people equate that area with great white sea bass, lots of rockfish, but you would never ever think of catching Dorado. Well, think twice, because they had 101 Dorado for 15 anglers on board the Aloha Spirit out of Cisco Sport Fishing in Oxnard. Oh my God, that is tremendous. They also had 2 nice bluefin tuna. I think they went 2 for 8 on the BFT. Tough fish, need heavy tackle, hard to hold on to. That's really the name of the game, bringing some heavy and holding on. Really great stuff up there in that neck of the woods. Let's bounce back here, because yesterday we were thinking to ourselves out loud, is it over? Did I miss the best bite ever on Dorado in the LA Orange County area? Because everybody had a tough day yesterday, or the day before, I should say. Yesterday, everybody had a fantastic day. The Victory, 150 plus on the flatheads. Great Dorado fishing on board the Victory. Native Son with 9 guys. They were pushed up over 40 on the Dorado. Great fishing. Sport King, 18 guys with Bruce, 54 Dorado. The Patriot, 100 plus on the Dorado. It doesn't get any better than that, I'm telling you right now. And KJ, from Mag 12 Swim Baits, he was recently on board the Thunderbird. Look at those Dorado. Had great Dorado fishing also. Got that nighttime bite last night. You got the Dorado fishing during the day. It can't get any better. It can't really get any more surreal other than that beautiful sunrise that I'm looking at right now. It's gorgeous. So really great fishing going on, and it just doesn't want to slow down. Back to San Diego for a moment, because somebody really dear to me, Israel de la Cruz. Great guy, wonderful family man, wonderful father, great friend. I say all that because Israel is really a special person, and he's a guy that has donated a lot to the mission south of the border. Family had their house burned down in Mexicali. I put out the cry. Israel right away with a donation. Same thing as we organized for our January 6th event in Mexico, where we'll be giving out thousands of dollars in gifts to people for Dia de Reyes. Israel right there. Anyway, good things do happen to good people, because he was on board the Apollo. By the way, he said, what a crew, what a boat. The Apollo out of C4 Sport Fishing in San Diego. You'd know, with Ricky Carbajal, my good friend for decades, and Jeff Jessup and Greg Obimeko, it's going to be good, and it is beyond good. Anyway, they hit a kelp and limited out fast. Wide open Dorado, tremendous fishing. I'm so happy for you, Israel. Great job there. He said the 25-pound and the 35-pound Opsin fluorocarbon, beyond a doubt, worked better than anything. It was really the ticket to some really outstanding fishing. So, man, I'll tell you, I don't know how it can get much better. It is absolutely crazy what is going on right now. We've got wide open fishing up there in the Channel Islands on Dorado. Now that's going to open the floodgates up there. Tucker and the Endeavor are going to be all over that here probably today. Slam dunking, Dorado catching bluefin. It's biting. Our bite here, right offshore, east of the east end of Catalina and other areas, it's full speed again. Going to have a blip on the radar with some wind on Wednesday, but on Thursday, it really is going to get nice for our trip. Remember, if you're on that Pride trip, bring heavy and then bring some lighter stuff for the Dorado. You're definitely going to want to have that. Should be a great trip. I know Matt is driving down from Northern California yesterday. He probably was going, oh my God, what happened? The bite's shutting off. I'm making this long drive down to be on this trip, and something happened. Well, something great happened, Matt. Now you're going to be in the driver's seat on this trip. So the way I see it, we're going to get bumped around on our trip out, and then it should settle down and be really nice. Remember, we do have one final trip with a few spots open on board the Pride, October 5th through the 7th. That is going to be done. It's going to be nighttime tuna fishing, wide open Dorado. At least that's the idea right now. Send me a text, 657-227-6459. And the Relentless this Sunday night, H&M Landing. That's going to be a great trip. 2 spots, wide open yellowfin tuna, great Dorado fishing, fish till dark. It's going to be fun. I'll be shooting a video on that trip. It should be a delightful trip. No question about that. All right, let me take you to the islands and talk about what's going on at Todos Santos. Still some yellows there. Same thing at the Coronado Islands. Not many guys fishing it because we've got too many other things going on. Clemente, some yellows there. Calico bass. Catalina's been a bust almost all year. I shouldn't really say a bust, but it's been pretty tough there at Cat Channel Islands. Still the occasional flurry on white sea bass. Wouldn't surprise me to see a boat with double digits today. It could very well happen, and I wouldn't count that bite out up there. Man, if that happens, we're catching white sea bass, copious amounts of rockfish, and Dorado and bluefin tuna. We have died and gone to heaven. That's all I can tell you. Along the coast, really good bass fishing, especially in Redondo, Marina del Rey. The Redondo special has been all over the calico bass. Some really great fishing going on there. Down south of us, we have good bass fishing. At times are in San Diego and up the coast, really, really good. So things are looking fantastic with regard to that. And surf fishing, we still have good Corvina fishing. As long as you can get out, at daybreak, that's a magical time to catch Corvina. I don't care what the tide is, high, low, in between, doesn't matter. You get out at daybreak, you've got a really good chance to make it happen. And again, natural baits, light line, that is the way to go. It always makes a huge, huge difference. So, man, fishing can't get any better. And if you're on the Pride, remember, you're going to need the knife jigs, and, you can vary the size, 250 up to 500, depends on wind and current, how much we'll use and how deep the fish are. I'm thinking we're going to be fishing that stuff. Things change, but that's the plan right now. First of all, probably first day, we'll hit the Dorado hard and then fish at nighttime that very same night. And then we still have another day ahead of us, so that should be a great trip. And that same kind of scenario could play out for you on October 5th through the 7th trip. Make sure you send me a text and we'll get you signed up on that one, or the Relentless Sunday night. And then we are fini for the year. I can't believe this year has gone by so fast. It has been such an outstanding year. Please hit that like button. It means so much. Share the morning briefing with somebody you love or even an enemy. We really don't care. And subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell so that you're notified every time we come on the air, because you'll be notified at 6 p.m. tonight when we're on with a great live show. We'll delve into this and so much more on tonight's show with James Mosier from Newport Landing. James is going to bring a studio audience along with him. So perhaps in the background, you'll hear some applause, or maybe you'll hear Anthony Amalfitano talking just a little too loud with those guys, and me saying, I'm going to throw you out of here if you keep that up. Just kidding, Anthony. All right, everybody. Wishing you a wonderful day. Thanks for helping us to soar up over 900,000 views and thousands upon thousands of hours consumed by all of you. You have no idea how much I deeply appreciate that. Take care. We will see you soon. And tonight, 6 p.m., don't miss our live show. We'll see you then.